All right. Happy Thursday, guys. We are super excited, and I'm super excited to see you. I feel like life is busy, and one of the best things about this business is being able to collaborate and partner with other women who share the same vision so that if you're absent a week, your counterparts will step into that. And so we hope and pray that throughout this mentorship that we do, that you guys start connecting with your peers and start collaborating, cross collaborating through teams, sharing visions, setting goals, and really leaning into how to really set yourself up and your teams for success. First and foremost, I am so freaking proud of the work that you guys are doing. Carl sent us new codes, which is really stinking exciting, because I don't know about you guys, but last week was major. And I know my team, not just my personally sponsored, but my whole downline, I think we had almost 140 people added to the team, which is incredible. Like, we just had an epic week. And what I think about those codes, you guys, is it's such a gift, right? We can get people started with a total solution for $100. Like, their bag of Shakeology isn't even $100, right? How much value is being packed into that? We literally can't leave any codes behind. And so this is a great opportunity for you to put that CEO cap on and go out and say, hey, Sarah, have you used your code, right? If I'm reaching out into my downline and Sarah's like, no, I don't really have anyone that gets started, but we get to help do that. And we're going to talk about that tonight. We're going to talk about how we get started and we share the invitation and move from that into the sale. So hopefully you guys are prepared to grow your teams this week. We really want to continue to celebrate you. If there's anything that you guys want to celebrate in the chat, we'd love to hear that tonight as well. And I know we're waiting for some more people to get together, but Jess, you want to go?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think you said it perfectly. For those of you, I mean, since everyone is relatively new, I will say that there's a lot of power at the end of the month. So even if you are frustrated and you're feeling frustrated that your team hasn't grown or you haven't had as many signups as you wanted, or maybe you haven't had any, there have been months where not only myself, but I know so many coaches at the last day of the month is that Success Club Zero has not gotten anyone signed up yet so far in the month, but they didn't quit and they sent those follow-ups and they believed first in the gift that they had to offer. And they didn't get wrapped up in the, oh my gosh, I have to hit Success Club. It's, I get to serve people with this amazing total package. And when you shift your mindset to that, and you really know there's 3 people out there at least that need you, that are praying for you and what you have to offer, everything shifts. And there's so much power at the end of the month. And now we all have a $40 off promo code. Don't forget, those codes are not specific. I wrote this in the chat, but they're not specific to the accounts that they're sent to. So if you have a spouse account or you have people like your mom that signed up as a discount coach, she's not going to use it, ask her for her code and use them. And it's just, there's no better time than the present. There's stuff that you guys don't know about yet that's happening in May that's going to, I'm just telling you, like, these next 3 to 6 months of our company is going to be insane. And the people that are plugged in and have their systems and are connecting and are like, let's go, and expecting like greatness to come from that are going to be the ones that are going to get to really reap those benefits. So, yeah, tonight we kind of just wanted to walk you through the the process, so that we want to make sure everyone has clarity on the process of how you attract new people, how you connect with them, how you invite them to be a part of what you're doing, and how you follow up with them. And I want to start by saying that most, I don't know if I want to say everyone, but many of us do it different. How I do it is different than Melissa does it. It's different than Abby does it. Similar, but it's different. And I honestly think that, and I don't know if I'm sure Melissa would agree with me in this, but there's something really valuable about mapping out your own process. Like, gain wisdom from other people, but there's also something really valuable in the struggle of learning, and making your brain think, not just following a script, but like making your brain think, okay, ideally, how do I want this to map out? How am I going to attract in marketing in a business? How am I going to attract new people? What are they going to want? Like what do I want them to want from me? What do I want them to come from me for? If I want to attract business builders, am I a business builder? Do they know I'm a business builder? Do they know I can help them build a business? Do they know what transformation that I'm offering them? If they want to lose weight and feel great and improve their digestion, do they know I can help them with that? Number one, attract. How am I going to do that? And that could be at a coffee shop. That could be at, it doesn't have to be just on social media. It could be whatever you want it to be. Step two, how am I going to connect with those people? How are you going to make friends with them? How are you going to establish trust? How are they going to know whether to value you? That's the power of consistency on social media, is because they get to see you showing up every day in your journey and how you do that as a busy fill in the blank of what you are, right? How are you going to connect with those people? Are you going to message everyone who comments on your posts and thank them? Are you going to connect with people's stories? How are you going to do that? And then number three, how are you going to invite them? I recommend you have an invite written out that sounds like you, and we have ones we can give you, but it's not you, it's not your voice, right? So make your brain think of, if I was at the grocery store and I saw a friend and she's like, man, I just feel horrible, I'm so tired, I know I need to work out, but I just don't have time to go to the gym, what would you tell her? And write that out, and it becomes from your heart and it's genuine. And then when you have that in your notes section, when you go to send invites to the people that you connected with, it's very easy to send out a bunch. Hey, thanks so much, I see you're watching my stories, this is what I do. In case you didn't see, I have this awesome transformation studio where I connect women with the 5 elements of transformation. It's been a game changer for me. Let me know if you've ever be interested in more information. If that sounds like you, write something like that. And then have it just like the National Wake Up Call. Nicole did a fantastic job of breaking down, okay, what do you do when they need more information? And you might need help with this in the beginning, and that's totally fine. Have something written out so that you don't get stuck. Because what I see happen is people don't send the invites because they don't know what to say when people want more information. Don't let that stop you. And if it's something that's stopping you, don't let that happen anymore. Choose to have something set up that you're going to send them, and then know that you have to track these people because they're most likely not going to say yes in the beginning. You're going to have to follow up with them. Hey, did you check out that information I sent you? Hey, did you check out that free workout that I sent you? This is so much fun. I'd love to do it with you. And write a list. And that's like the whole of like this call for me. That's what the generic version of that looks like. I personally use, we talked about it in our Google, or in our chat a little bit. I use a Google form that works really well for me because of how I portray myself and my background. I'm a holistic health coach and a registered nurse. My brain likes to assess before I ever give recommendations. So I use a Google form. If someone's interested in working with me, I have them fill out the Google form, and then I send them a share card and explanation of my recommendations. I know Melissa doesn't use that, and I don't think Abby uses that either, and that's okay. But have this process mapped out for yourself, because when you have the process mapped out, you have nothing stopping you, and you just go find the people. And I think that this process is stopping a lot of people. So Melissa, I'd love kind of your take on this. And then please, you guys, if you have any questions or things that are stopping you, or like you're getting stuck on, we want this to be interactive. So put it in the chat or unmute yourself.
So is there anyone on here, and you guys can unmute yourself or you can put it in the chat, but we want to know, is there anyone on here who hasn't actually shared that you're a coach and that you have something to share? Like, have you just kind of been doing your workouts and posting your groups and like maybe posting a sweaty selfie? Okay, so it's safe to assume that everyone's done a coming out post, right? Because everyone's, yeah, good. Okay. Because I was going to kind of go into what that might look like for you, but if that's already something that you've already covered, or maybe even if you feel like, I kind of did it, but then I never like really posted anything about it, you can also relaunch your business at any time. That's the thing that I love about our business, is that number one, consistency is key. And so if you do want people to join you, you have to show up consistently. The other thing is that sharing your story is critical. right? And so as you're doing these call to action posts, there should be some sort of story that's attached to it. And then you can have your form that you direct them to, either, in your link tree or in the bottom comments, whatever that looks like, because I do think it is a great way. Actually, how Jess just said it, I was like, oh, maybe I need a form, because that's really actually good. It just shifted my thinking, right? So that's the other great thing about this business, is that you can tweak it. I've used forms before, but when she just said how I position myself as a business owner, I like to assess my clients first, right? That might feel a little bit different. But making sure that you have a call to action on those posts. So if Renee was to go out and put a post up talking about how excited she is that, she needed to find more joy in her workouts every day, and Beachbody launched this, or the company she's partnered with launched this new program, and she's having so much fun with it. And it's 30 minutes a day where she can pour back into herself, because she recognized that her cup was super dry and she didn't know how much that she needed this. And she's looking for 5 women to dance with, right? That can be the simple call to action in whatever you want. I know Jess uses the Google Forms. You can also use Jot Forms. That was the one that I was using for a while. I think it's actually still attached to my call to action. But really making sure, like Nicole said in the National Wake Up Call, is that you have a clear call to action at the end. Not that it's just something that you're doing. And doing that, I would say at least 3 times a week, right? So in your posting, making sure that you're doing that call to action to them, so that they understand that you always have something available to them. You are open for business, and that you're looking for people to do this with you, right? I think sometimes there's this perception, and I know we've talked about this on different calls, but where if you're constantly posting about your business and you're saying how much fun you're having and you can't wait for people to get started with you, but you never really actually invite them and you never actually put a call to action in it, they're like, oh, that's cool, good for her, right? That's kind of like saying, I'm going to have a barbecue this weekend and I'm so excited because we have a caterer coming and we have a live band coming and we're all going to be doing that. And like, someone in your friends group is like, oh, that's cool, like that'd be fun to go to, but you never personally invite them, and you assume that they know that they're invited to this party because they're your friend and you talk to them all the time. When they don't show up to the party, you're going to be like, hey, like what happened? Like, how come you weren't at the party? And they're like, well, I never actually got invited. Right. So stop leaving that assumption there, that just because you've posted about it a couple times, that people actually know what you're doing and actually go out and do that formal invite. And so if they're liking your posts too, that's another way for you to go back and say, hey, thanks so much for the love on my post. It's not always easy to share my stuff, but your support means the world to me. Have you ever considered doing what I'm doing? Right? That's how you can turn that in to asking for the sale, asking them to do this with you. Or it can be something as little as saying, Sarah, thank you so much for all of your encouragement on my post. I actually think you'd be amazing at this. Here's why, right? So painting that picture for them. But hopefully everyone had the opportunity to listen to Nicole's National Wake Up Call this week, because it was just like Jess said, it was incredible and it was so simple. I think a lot of times when we struggle in this business is because we tend to complicate things and we want to go and attack everything all at once, instead of just focusing on the one thing. And the simple thing is, your job is your journey, and you're going to bring other people along in doing this with you. Right. So going back and listening to that and taking notes. And then if you go into the Beachbody Champions page, Sandy actually had her share her resources in there. So that can be another area for you to just go and check and see what that is. But I'm like Jess, I am personally not a scripts person. But what I do, mom joke, weird, is I will put stuff in my notes section so that I always have something to grab from. Right. So in the morning when I'm doing my power hour, I will go in and I'll use one of my already created invites, so that I'm not sitting here 10 minutes over analyzing and trying to think of something. I'm actually a person who can create something on the fly. That's never really been a struggle for me. But if I had to, it's here. Right. So hopefully that is helpful for you guys. As far as like figuring out what am I having that call to action to? How often am I posting? And again, if you're just jumping on the call and you haven't yet done a call to action post, or maybe you're just jumping back into the business and you haven't really done anything like that, where you talk about why you got started, right? Take people on a journey, like help them understand why you're so passionate about what we're doing. If you're qualifying for a success starter club, because a lot of you guys are new coaches and you'll qualify for those, take people on a journey through that. Invite them into this journey with you so that they can follow you along and join you when you get started. Another really great reason to have those forms that Jess is talking about is we have another new program that's going to be coming out, right? A Moyla's program. And so you can gain interest and track people there. You can also on those forms, which is really cool, is ask them like, what style workout do you like? So you wouldn't, if somebody says they hate dancing, you wouldn't go recommend Shanti's new program. That might be something that you say, hey, I want to challenge you in the future after you get to know their personality more, but like you would figure out what that is. So I think I'm rambling, but hopefully that's helpful. Do you guys have any questions for us? We always kind of like to end the month on roundtable and asking and making sure you guys are getting what you need.
Is anyone stuck on inviting? This is the meat and potatoes of our business, and I think it's what people avoid the most. If so, now.
And totally be honest, guys, are you guys using the digital bat in the back office? Okay, so Sarah, thank you for your honesty.
I keep forgetting, I'll be honest.
Okay.
Things and I keep forgetting.
So that, guys, I want to encourage you to get comfortable with it because it is seriously such a gift. You can just go in there and it tells you exactly what to do. So there is absolutely zero guesswork, and then you can check them off. You can actually set timers on there, which is really cool as well. But I think this is the last week where they're like giving away $500, $100, $200 in swag. On that, you do need to make sure you're inviting to bod group, which I'm not a huge fan of bod group, so I've been missing that opportunity. That's my own issue. But I would encourage you to go and check that out because it's a great resource. And when you log into your Coach Online office where it says your rank, your coach ID, it's just right there. You just click on it and it has it all. It says, I'm stuck on inviting because I'm struggling with getting myself consistent. Okay. So first and foremost, your job's your journey. You have to be consistent in this. And so one of the things that I always encourage people when they feel like they're struggling to be consistent is sit down and write out your why and your vision. If you don't know where you're going, it's going to be really hard to take other people with you. If you don't know why you have to be consistent, like nobody has to text me and ask me to work out every day. I know that I want to feel comfortable in my skin. I know that I want to manage my chronic pain. I know that I want a healthy gut. I know that I don't want a depressed mom or wife. I want somebody who can keep up with their kids, who has energy. I want to be a role model in my community. I do. That is just one of the things that I want to do. Was it always that way? No. In the beginning, I just wanted to lose weight. That was it. But the more consistent that you work on yourself, the more that you're going to feel like I can't keep this to myself. And in hand with working out, you have to be doing personal development. You have to. Like anytime Jess, Abby, and myself talk, we're talking 99% about the personal development we're doing. We're sending each other podcasts. We're basically giving each other and coaching one another because we're not immune to being burnout. We're not immune to mom life. We're not immune to feeling like we're struggling with recruiting or people telling us no or coaches quitting. Like when you get to our level, it just becomes the new devil, right? You have to continue to keep yourself rooted. And so the quote that I put at the beginning of this is one of the books that I'm reading right now. It's called The Joy of Missing Out. I'm an Enneagram 3. I want to do all the things. I want to go all the places. I want to say yes to all the stuff, right? Jess and Abby are too. And Jess actually sent me a podcast on it today from her upline and mentor, because it's exactly what we've been saying, right? And so figuring out, and then the other thing I would say as far as getting yourself consistent is make yourself a non-negotiable, right? Get up, set your workouts the night before, or sleep in it if you have to, and set a time, like a standing date with yourself for your workout. So if you're like Jess, she's up at like 4:30 in the morning getting that done, because if she doesn't do that, it might not get done because she's got 3 littles and a little that she's got to take care of. I actually just did a gut check with myself this morning, is that I'm going to get myself back on the early morning workout, because I know I will push it off and I will do all the other things like sweep the floor or mop or pretend I'm doing laundry, right? I like to work out because I know it makes me feel good, but I still procrastinate it. There's still other things. I have 3 kids in distance learning, 3 different drop-offs, 3 different pickups, then homework, all the things. So make yourself a priority. And also, here's my last thing, and then I'm gonna let Jess chime in. Setting timers on your phone. And when you set those timers, you can say something like, "Good morning, beautiful," or "You get up and energize, you are worth it." Like giving yourself those affirmations to really pour into yourself. And I don't know who posted that and what your beliefs are, but I also have been doing a lot of self-care studies on honoring God, right? And self-care God's way. Because sometimes we think of self-care as our selfish vanity and like needing to refill our cups so that we can hey Kelly, I sorry, you were blocked out so I can't see you and there's no name. But just really knowing that I'm honoring the Lord by being obedient to taking care of myself, and that doesn't always mean making me have more energy, but he's going to give me that energy that I need by pouring, like spending time with him, by taking care of myself, by nourishing my body, by drinking water, all of those things. And so I would say for you, knowing that you have a busy schedule, you have to get it done first thing in the morning. Stop making it negotiable for you to talk yourself out of it, because you know by the time you get off work, you're going to be tired, you're going to be drained, right? So if you're going to have to sacrifice sleep, that's one of the things that it'll pay off in the end.
It's all so good. I wanted to add one more thing, and I'm actually wanting to teach you guys something. If you're on my team, then you've already seen this. I'm putting a link in the chat box right now, and I've been talking about this in my coach webinars, info about coaching, and we've been talking about it on our team a lot. And for some reason, 5 years in, there's like a light bulb moment. Kelly, especially for you, and I think this will be applicable to everyone. When you find yourself in a really hard season, know that it's actually happening for you and for your business. And you have the opportunity we all have the opportunity to make your struggle your superpower. I promise you, you're not the only one struggling right now with what you're struggling with and being consistent. I am in one of the hardest season. My season of business right now is harder than when I first started and I was working in a prison overtime. It's very hard. My husband's gone all the time working and growing his business, which I'm being supportive of, but it's just a really hard time. And so I have to daily, sometimes hourly, remind myself that my journey's not just for me. I want other moms with 3 little kids to know that they can too take care of themselves. And it's my mountain to show them how to do that. And so, whatever struggles you're having right now, it's different when we shift our mindset to, I'm not just doing this for me so that I can lose a few pounds. I'm doing this to show the mom at home who has no tools and no support that she can do it too, and I can help her. And together we can do this. And that's what coaching is. So, the link that I put in there is our 5 essentials to a healthy transformation. And this is it, you guys. Like, if you've never thought of it this way before, this is what your job is as a coach first. You pick these 5 elements of transformation. You're picking your fitness program, your nutrition program, your supplements, you're choosing a mindset development tool, whether that's a book or a podcast, and you're choosing how you want to be supported. You have to outline that for yourself. This is what you're committed to, and then you do the plan. As a coach, our job is to find other people to help find their essential 5 elements of transformation with the menu that Beachbody's given us. And then you support them on the journey of doing that plan of those 5 things. That's what we do as a coach. It gets so like cloudy and we muddy it and we make it so hard. That's all that it is. Whether you find them on Facebook or you find them on Instagram or you find them in Starbucks, it doesn't matter. That's what we do. And then you're sharing your journey, you're sharing the struggles, you're sharing, like, man, I have not been able to get a workout in. I'm gonna be honest with you. I ate half of a pizza last night and then I felt depressed about it. And so I drank a bottle of wine, or whatever your story is. Just be true and say, so it stops now. And I realize that I have a choice. And so tomorrow morning, guess what I'm doing? I'm setting my alarm for 4:30 because that's what time I have to wake up in order to get my workout in before the kids wake up, whatever your guys' story is. And I'm gonna do it. And I want an accountability partner who needs this in their life just as much as I do. Let's keep each other accountable. That's how we coach. And then when people need help, you ask them what they need. You ask them what their goals are. You ask them what their barriers to success are. And you say, based on what you've shared with me, these are your 5 essentials to a healthy transformation that I'm going to connect you with. This is what I'm doing. This is what you're doing. Let's do it together. Hopefully that helps.
I would say specifically for you, Kelly, since you were the one that said that, obviously your story isn't the same as Jess and I's, right? And so it's speaking to, women in their middle age who want to feel comfortable in their skin, who want to feel confident, who want to have more energy, who feel like they're called to do more in life and they're getting that solution. So sorry, I wanted to just add that in. Shifted, write your vision down. Yes. Yeah. Writing your vision down and reading it every single day, and not just your vision for your business, right? Writing your vision, right? Because I know we've said this before too, is we don't wake up to hit Success Club. I don't wake up every day to hit Elite. I wake up because I have 3 kids at home that I don't want to have to clock in for somebody else and leave them to go do that, right? I want to be able to, when my husband is home during the wintertime, I want us to be able to travel. I want to be able to provide for my parents as they age. I want, when my son decides what college he wants to go to be able to say, yes, we can help you with this financially. He's going to be driving in 2 years. I never had a car. I want to be able to provide that for my child, right? Those are the things that are in my vision. I can picture lots of property with a beautiful landscaped backyard, right? All of these things are part of my vision that propel me on the days when I don't want to get up. Because again, we all have those days. We all have those days where we struggle mentally, emotionally, physically, whatever it might be. But we've been in this business long enough to know that if you keep going and you stay true to the 5 things that Jess was talking about, and you keep showing up when life gets challenging and you lean into this community, you're going to figure out what your why is. And it'll probably evolve over time and get stronger. And the first time that you have somebody that says, I didn't give up because you believed in me. You believed in me before I believed in myself. For the first time in months, I haven't felt like I didn't want to wake up in the morning. I've had women tell me that. Moms, that's like heartbreaking to me that they didn't care if they woke up in the morning, and they found this community and it started helping them believe in themselves that there was something more, right? So if you're here, it's for a reason and a purpose. And yes, we have the most incredible programs and we have the most incredible supplements and culture and all of that, but it's deeper than that, right? You didn't wake up this morning to jump on this call tonight, but you got on this call for a reason. And we believe in you. We want you to be even more successful than we are, honestly. Like my greatest success, my vision has shifted in the last few months too, is like, I want to be the back of the room coach who's just like clapping, like, yes, that's my girl. Let's freaking go. Right. That's exciting to me, watching other people succeed. So,
Amen.
Any questions, guys?
Just in case anyone doesn't know this already, too, these people don't fall into your inbox because you post on social media. I think that some people think that they do. Like, well, I'm posting regularly, but no one's reached out to me yet, and I just want to wait. I don't want to be pushy. So just in case anyone's still like holding on to that, the stories that Melissa just shared are very true. What we do is very real and it's very transformative and it's the good stuff. But we have to work for it. We have to go out there and find the people who don't have the strength and the courage to reach out because they're too whatever. They're too scared or they're too weak or they are so deep in their valley that they can't see the vision of them being able to get out of it. But when you reach out to them, you just never know. I know Melissa has had this happen to her. When there's been several times I've sent an invite to a stranger who's watched my Instagram I've never had a connection with and invited them to my free community and they're like, "Oh my gosh, thank you so much for taking the time to think of me." So if you have any ounce of like fear or worry of what people are going to think, flip that on its head and say, and what if everyone in your Instagram, everyone in your Facebook is suffering and you have the magical key to end their suffering and you're over here like, "I have it, but you have to come and get it. I have it, but you have to come and get it." Don't be that person. Like, be in their face and say, "I believe in you. I have something. It'll change your life. Let's do this together." If they're not ready for the gift, that's fine. You go move on to the next person. But more than ever, you guys, people really need coaches. They really, really need them. And that's why we do these calls because we need you. Like our world needs you to be bold and be courageous and be successful and to go out there and find other people that can help us really change the way that our world is going because it's not fantastic, as we know. But we're the difference makers. We have a freaking incredible job to get paid to make a difference in people's lives. And I think that's amazing. Totally our responsibility. We don't want to keep you guys if you don't have any other questions but seriously, nothing's off limits. So if there's anything that you're struggling with, anything that's been working for you that you want to share, anything you want to celebrate, we're here for you.
So before we jump off to you guys, I just want to tell you something I shared with a call last night is making sure that you always have 5 content buckets to pull from. So obviously, number 1, you already know that you're a coach and you're going to talk about the incredible gifts that we have with that. But really thinking like, what are the other 4 things I'm going to talk about? So I know I'm going to talk about faith. I'm going to talk about sobriety and recovery. I'm going to talk about motherhood. And I also really like to shop and travel. So I'm going to weave those things in there too. Right. And so if you struggle with those things, making sure, and I don't know if I did this with you guys already, maybe I did it in the chat, but I'd love to give you guys a challenge to do 1 reel every day for the next 30 days and write down your like your follower count right now and where you end at in 30 days, because I started mine last week and I've already went up like 30, which isn't like drastic, but I feel like it's fun. It's actually quality people. And that's actually manageable for me. Right. I personally don't want to go viral and then gain 100,000 followers. I mean, that's excessive, 10,000 followers and then not be able to manage that. Right. That might be a little bit overwhelming for me, but 30 a week, I could totally manage that. And it's just connecting with them, building relationships, reaching out and saying, "Hey, Sarah, I love your profile picture. You're absolutely gorgeous. I'm super grateful that we've been connected through this journey." Tell them a couple things about myself, ask them about them. Boom, we're connected. Right. And if I genuinely feel like Sarah's somebody who I want in my community, guess whose stories I'm going to show up in every day? Mm-hmm. Guess who is going to get an invite the first week after I've already started conversating with her. Right. And I'm going to tell her why. So just my final little challenge for you guys, something that's working for me, and then just some encouragement of what you should be posting.
Last chance, everybody.
Just want to say thank you for the training. I appreciate it. You guys coming on here. And I actually just sent a text when I was on here following up with somebody that I'm kind of just like following up with the $40 off coupons and like stressing the importance of them. I've used, I think 3 or 4 because I've asked a couple people that are not using them, and I'm just like, the value is so insane. I don't want you to miss it. And so and right now I literally just text a girl probably for like the third time today. Hey, don't want to bug you, but if you're not going to use it, I want to make sure it gets used. And she just texted me back like, no worries. I'm so sorry. I will look at it tonight and let you know. Have a great birthday. Because today's actually my birthday. But so she, you know, as much as I was bugging her and like, hey, if you're not going to use it, let me know, you know, that was her response. Is like, no, I want to use it and let me like look at it tonight and get back to you. So utilize the codes, I think right now are such a great tool. And so if you have them, for sure use them. And like, and short but sweet. Like, I think like it's tough to like send a message and try to get your point across without being super long, but the long messages definitely throw people off. So the shorter you could be, like the asking more questions, like they've talked about, like getting kind of like understanding, like, you know, creating that conversation with questions more. And then like, hey, I'd love you to do this, or are you working out? Like, you know, and like just like those starter questions, instead of like a long drawn out message, because it does look salesy and it does push people away. Because I've tried both, and the response rate is much better the shorter my and what I'll even do is I have multiple things to say. I'll kind of like spread out the messages. So like I'll send like 2 short messages, so it looks like I'm literally saying 2 different short statements versus like 1 long paragraph. So yeah, those are just some things that I've been experiencing that I've had some success for sure with the coupons, like utilizing those. So I would say if you have them, for sure use them.
I love it. And you
Mhm.
are, I don't know if you know this, but you're 2 emeralds and 3 coaches away from diamond. So you're not far. You're not
I'm not far. I know. When I have that with that session with you yesterday, and I had that put into perspective for me, I even told my husband, I was like, you know, realistically, like if I was to really like hone in, it's so doable.
Oh,
Totally.
yeah. Oh,
Totally. So yes, thank you for that.
Can't wait to celebrate you when you become diamond. That's so awesome. That's
I
super
know.
exciting.
Thank you. I'm excited too.
And on those, sorry, now that we're talking about codes, I don't know if you guys know, but your spouse's account also has those codes, and you can use it in your account, right? So thinking of Katie, she's got her husband signed up. So Katie has a code, her husband has a code, so that she could potentially add 2 more coaches to her team this week with those codes, right? So making sure that in your controlled account, you're utilizing that, and then go into your team page and touch base with the people who they simply do not want to work this business, and get those codes. Like, just tell them like, hey, Beachbody sent us out these codes. I'd love to help you get someone started. But you're going to run into those people who genuinely just want the discount. They don't want anything. They're super excited to be a VIB client for you, and they'll give you their codes. So get all the codes, blow up this week, have the best week of success. And just keep this in mind, you guys, a closed mouth don't get fed. Just like Jess said, they're not sitting there waiting for you to invite them. They don't even realize that they can join you because you are too in your head thinking, what are they going to think? Oh my God. It's like that hair washing reel where she's like, I need to wash my hair. But if I wash my hair, it's like, stop doing that with your invitations and go be bold and have freaking fun with this, because people need this. People want to feel good. People are depressed. People are overweight. People are lacking money. People are lacking relationships, or they have that in their life and they want to be a part of this too, because they see the value in it and they just don't know how to get started. So have to give them the tools. So I could go on and on and on, but we want to be respectful of your time. If anything, let us know. We will get back to you within the group.
We want to hear in the chat thread these next through tomorrow. Is tomorrow the last day of the month? That's right. Yeah, I think so. Through tomorrow, when you sign someone up, when you get anyone started with anything, please let us know. We want to celebrate you, and let's pull up the chat thread. That would be super fun. If you're not in our chat thread, we have a new coach chat thread on Facebook. So ask your coach to put you in it if you're not. All right, you guys. Thank you for your time. Have an amazing night, and we'll talk to you next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.